A dry spell is one of the most common experiences in long-term relationships, and one of the least talked about. Weeks become months, months become longer, and the longer it goes, the more awkward it feels to restart. Until eventually, both people are waiting for the other one to make a move that neither one makes. Today, how to actually break that cycle with science. Here is what a dry spell actually does to a relationship. It is not just the absence of intimacy. It creates growing awkwardness around the topic, where neither partner knows how to reapproach something that used to feel natural. It creates a feedback loop. The longer it lasts, the higher the psychological stakes feel, and the harder it is to start. Research shows that couples in extended intimacy gaps report increasing emotional distance, even when both partners want to reconnect. The solution is not spontaneity. The solution is intentionality. Here is the research behind what actually works. I'm Dr. Lauren Mercer. Today draws from relationship research at Rutgers University, clinical findings from certified sex therapists in the United States, and studies on intimacy restoration published in the Journal of Sex and Marital Therapy. Let's go through exactly what creates a dry spell, and then exactly how to end it. Research identifies the most common triggers: life stress, work pressure, financial strain, health issues, all redirect nervous system resources away from desire. Postpartum period, hormonal changes and sleep deprivation combine to reduce desire in both partners. Relationship tension, unresolved conflict creates emotional distance, making physical reconnection feel unsafe. Illness or physical changes, affecting body image or physical comfort. And the most insidious trigger of all, inertia. The longer a dry spell continues, the more normal it begins to feel, and the harder restart becomes. Understanding which trigger applies determines the right approach. Now, the psychology of restart. Because this is where most couples get it wrong. The most common approach, waiting for a perfect, spontaneous moment, is also the least effective. Research shows that waiting for spontaneous desire after a long gap leads to more waiting. Spontaneous desire after a dry spell is rare for both partners because the neural pathway has weakened from disuse. Neural pathways strengthen with activation. The pathway to intimacy, like any other, must be reactivated intentionally. In simple terms, you have to begin before it feels natural. That is not unromantic. That is neuroscience. Now, what actually works? And these are specific. Research identifies a consistent method used by sex therapists across the U.S. Sensate focus. This is a clinical technique that removes performance pressure and replaces it with structured, non-pressured touch. Phase 1. Non-sexual touch only. Partners take turns, giving and receiving slow, attentive touch, with no expectation of anything more. The goal is presence, not performance. Research shows this method rebuilds comfort and emotional connection. It works because it removes pressure and creates positive, low-stakes contact. Now, the conversation. Because this comes first. Research shows that couples who name the dry spell directly recover faster. No blame, no accusation, just honesty. Something like, "I feel like we've been disconnected. I miss being close to you. I want us to work on that together." That one sentence opens the door. It allows both partners to stop waiting and start moving. The second part, remove pressure. Agree that reconnection will be gradual. Start with non-sexual closeness. This removes performance anxiety, which is often the biggest barrier. Now, the part most people don't expect. Research shows that couples who rebuild intimacy often report higher satisfaction than before the dry spell. Higher, not equal. Because rebuilding requires intention, attention, presence, effort. Early intimacy is automatic. Rebuilt intimacy is chosen. And chosen intimacy is experienced as more meaningful. The dry spell is not the end. For many couples, it becomes a turning point. Now, the exact steps. Step 1. Have the conversation. Name the dry spell. No blame, just honesty. I miss being close to you. Can we start reconnecting, slowly? Step 2. Start with non-sexual touch. Daily physical contact with no expectation. Hold hands, hug longer, sit close, make touch normal again. Step 3. Use sensate focus. Set time aside, take turns, no pressure, no goal. Step 4. Remove performance expectations. The goal is not perfection, the goal is reconnection. Let it be imperfect, let it be simple. Step 5. Address deeper issues. If the dry spell connects to unresolved conflict, that must be addressed. Intimacy cannot rebuild on tension. Couples therapy is one of the most effective tools for both. The dry spell is not a sentence. It is a gap, and gaps can be closed by two people who choose to close them, with intention, with patience, with small steps. If this helped, share it with someone who might need it. Subscribe, new videos every week. Comment below, has a dry spell ever affected your relationship? What helped?